Kroll is offering me an international tourism pact. So right now, oh wow, he has three wonders, and I have three wonders. So this will give both of us 3 points a turn, and that's going to be the way it works till the end of the game. So I'm trying to think if there's any disadvantages for taking this. Probably not. I think this is an auto accept, right? There's no because we're gonna stay on the same page, and the both of us are just getting points over everyone else. So yeah, this is great. I am totally accepting that. Crew increase population, develops cannons, builds a cannon, increase population, builds a cannon. Okay, here comes the oh, picks up computers and air forces, and here comes the Napoleonic army. So he signaled that quite strongly by picking up the cannons. So he's currently 38, and he can't research air forces next turn. He could research it the following turn, and probably build at least one of them, maybe two. So one of the things I should be mindful of is his military potential. He can get another 24 military. Oh wow, that's amazing. He could go up to 62. So that's something to keep in mind as the game progresses. Henry Merivale is next. He sees an event. Okay, and here's the historic territory. And now it's time to think how much I want to bid on it. So with Kroll going into a pretty heavy military investment, I don't know if the previous plan of getting journalism is going to be feasible. I should keep this science for my own air forces, and I should maintain some military presence. Just because Kroll will have one opportunity to declare war, and I want to make sure I'm not the recipient of that war. So I should be a bit careful with how much I'm spending on this. And oh, I'm looking at the wrong player. So how much is everyone else gonna bid here? So I don't think Krul is gonna bid on this because that's gonna slow down his military by quite a bit. Even putting just a swordsman on it is gonna drop him down to 29, and he doesn't have that many military actions. He doesn't have that much food to rebuild it. If he does bid on it, I doubt it's going to be more than 5. So a 2 or a 6, a 3 plus a 3. Henry Merivale. Um, yeah, likewise, he could go all in by bidding a whole set of phalanx, let's say. So that's going to be 11, plus potentially a card, that's 14. Although that seems unlikely. I think it's much more reasonable to assume he's going to bid 6 on it as well. So 6 and 6. Pink Ranger. Pink Ranger is in a pretty sad state. I don't see him bidding and finishing his Whole Foods, and right now Whole Foods gives him a whooping 23 points. Um, so maybe even 25 if he builds another farm to support this. So I guess he could bid 8 if he has two Age 3 defense cards, but that seems unlikely. So my starting bid is going to be one cannon and two cards um, using Cook, and I think I can safely bid. Yeah, I don't see this aggression. I don't see myself playing two armed interventions. Who knows though? Because right now these guys are not doing amazing. I'm 15 ahead on each of them, so I might play two armed interventions. It's possible my next few turns are armed intervention, input of wonders. Do I see a loss of sovereignty happen? I don't see a war happening. I think we can very easily disqualify a war. Because I can't really, yeah, even if the only way I get a big military boost is through air forces, and yeah, I don't see a war being justified here. Let me have another look. Yeah, especially if I win this. If I win this, there's definitely no war. So the war can go, and I go down to 26. I have 7 on top of them, which means I'm not going to play 2 armed interventions. There's 3 turns left. I'm going to be at 26 versus 19, maybe more. So I don't think there's going to be 2 armed interventions. I should keep a raid. So that puts me at 7. Question is, do I want to go into 15? And the tricky part is that it's gonna make rebuilding much more difficult because that's one more cannon I need to get. So let's look at that. I already have 12 stones and 1 meeple, and I can dismantle 1 or even 2 mines. So I could go all in on that to guarantee I'm getting it. It does help quite a bit with if someone seeded Impact of Happiness, it covers it. And it does give me 11 points plus somewhere, let's say 2 to 3 points from Cook. So I might want to go all in. If I bid 7, then who's going to bid 8? And what do I want to do if they do bid 8? So if Cruel bids 8, then it's going to be 2 defense cards and a unit. Which means they're going to have to pay 3 for this, plus 14 for the Air Forces. Which is not a big deal for them. They're going to have 18. Right? If Henry Merivale bids 8, then I can attack them with armed interventions. They can't really recover from bidding 8 right now. Oh, unless they have this plus 2 cards, then they go down to 16. Yeah, and they can go as high as... Do we have Conquistadors here? Yeah, we have Conquistadors, so they could build a knight with this, and that's going to be all of their military actions. They're going to go down to 16, and then they're going to get 7, 23. Yeah, so they're going to be open for armed intervention. And likewise, Pink Ranger. So I don't see anyone bidding more than 7. If they do bid more than 7, then they can't recover their military enough to stop armed interventions or even a war on culture. So I can punish it. I feel comfortable with bidding 7 right now. Yeah. Oh yeah, because I could even get another set of cannons on my turn. Yeah, on my turn I could declare war on culture and get another set of cannons, which makes me wonder if I want to bid on this at all. That's because there's no there's no Gandhi. Only one of them is gonna get Churchill if they take Churchill. So I can get another 11. I could go up to 44, 45. Go up on 45 and declare war on them. And yeah, neither one of them is in a place to really beef up their military. So maybe I should go for the war. The war is going to be... The risk with the war is that the person I'm targeting with the war is going to concede. And I could see a situation where I declare a war on Pink Ranger and he just resigns. Henry Merivale, I don't think so, because even with one war, he could um, he could get second or maybe even third place. Hmm. Although I can't pass on this completely because Cruel can get it pretty easily. I think that's why I'm bidding. I think I'm bidding because if I don't, then Cruel can probably get it for maybe even 2, and giving him 11 points for a military action and 3 stone is too much. So I think that's why I'm bidding. And if anyone outbids it, um, then I'm going to punish them with a war or an aggression. So that's the plan. I'm curious if this reasoning makes sense. So if you have any ideas, please comment. Let's see what happens. Wow, so Pink Ranger does win the colony. And also, I want to apologize to the crowd and Pink Ranger. Pink Ranger is a she, not a he. I've been referring to her as a he. So, Pink Ranger wins the colony, discards 7 points of strength. And then Henry Merrivale for his turn gets Churchill, builds a rifleman, play reserves for food, builds a knight, gets Churchill, picks up military buildup, and rockets. Pink Ranger for her turn gets a pop, builds a farm to not lose any points, gets Einstein, elects Einstein, and discovers engineering. So, here we go. So let's take a tally of the state of the game. 1. How many turns are left? So there's at least 2 turns, this one and the next one. Question is age 4 going to hit this turn? That seems highly unlikely. There's 12 cards left in the deck. Between the 4 of us, 4 are going to go away. So that means each of us is going to have to pick 2 of them. I'm probably going to pick 1, and I'm guessing Cruel is going to pick 1 or 2. Henry Merrivale is going to pick... He has quite a lot of actions, and he's going to get rid of these yellows, so 2. And Pink Ranger might pick 2. So it is possible that the game finishes next turn, but that seems unlikely. Especially given that there's a whole bunch of technologies here and everyone's pretty flooded. I mean, it's possible that Cruel picks a leader and a yellow, like patriotism, but seems unlikely. So there's probably 3 more turns left. And then the question is, what do I want to do with my political action? And the answer is I want to use this military. Question is how. In an ideal world, I would play War over Culture on Henry Merrivale. Let's see how much military I can get. So I can use 2 military actions. So I'll get 2 cannons. I'll be at 45. 17 is nice, but Henry Merrivale has military theory. So if he gets military theory, he's at 33. Then he can play 2 knights. He has enough yellows to do that. Lose some infrastructure, but nothing critical, I think. And build these 2 knights and get another and switch to conquistadors. And that's going to give him 4 for the knights, 7 for the conquistadors, because there's going to be 2 of them. So it's going to be 11, so it's going to be at 44. Not amazing. He could also go for rockets, and then he builds 2 rockets for plus 12, and he's at 40. And if he uses Churchill for that, then he has some leftover science. So I don't think Henry Merrivale is the target for War of Culture. If he doesn't sacrifice some infrastructure for military, then next turn I should be able to hit him with Armed Intervention. So there's still hope. Pink Ranger, she's in a bit of a sorry state in that regard. She could get a legion, a swordsman for activating a legion, and that's going to put her at 8. I mean, ideal situation, there's economic progress here, and she has 17 stones. I guess you could get tanks, research them, and get 2 tanks and conquistadors. And that's going to be 3 plus 13, 28. I don't see her going much higher than 30. So I could declare war on culture on Pink Ranger. My concern is that if I do that, she resigns. Because she's behind on points. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. Also, if I don't declare war on culture on Pink Ranger, I'm pretty sure that Cruel does. I mean, it's possible he's going to go down to 22 to 32 by his next turn. Unless he builds more units now, because Napoleon might go away. But even at 32 versus 20, that's a nice change of points. But if I declare a war, maybe he doesn't. Honestly, ideal situation is that he declares an armed intervention or a raid or anything really on Henry Merrivale. Does he have any H2 cards? No. Yeah, because the competition right now, I think, yeah, everyone's still pretty close. I think Cruel is a bit behind because he doesn't have points and he doesn't have a wonder. But there are impacts here. He did put 2 of them. So I really hope that for Cruel, he manages to declare an armed intervention on Henry Merrivale and probably succeeds because 2 defense cards are gone. So let's go down that path and see what happens. So declare war on Pink Ranger, and then let's build some military. What do I want to do with the rest of my turn? So we said there's 2 turns left. I'm going to be at 10 science. In an ideal world, I would want to pick up military theory in reserves, but I don't have the hand size. So all of these technologies I picked up are coming back to bite me again. Um, I could go for journalism, and that means that I'm going to have 8 science instead of 10, and 14 if anyone played the Cold War, and that this is going to give me 2 points for variety plus 6 points. So 8 points from this. And then I'll pick up military theory, and hopefully I can get it for another 2 points. Yeah. Another option is to open growth a temple. And thanks to varieties, temple is going to be worth 5 points. So 5 points, 8 points. In that case, I don't research journalism. And I have 3 actions left. I can pick up these reserves. I don't think I need more than 6 or 8 stones anyway. All of my stuff is cheap. I can build back 1 cannon if I use one for colony, which seems unlikely at this point. So I think I'm going to get some more points for the journalism, and also this sets me up for afterwards building a religion anyway. So we do this, we get the journalism, we urban growth, a journalism, and we keep up this military theory for the off chance that one of these is a developed territory or a Cold War. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And now it's up to see what Pink Ranger does with military, and honestly what Cruel does with his political action. Here we go. Okay. Sid Meier showed up. Doesn't help me one bit. um, yeah. I think the one either I might want to take is Gandhi for my last turn after Cook goes away. Right now, I really hope to get 2 more hits from Cook. I'm gonna get at least 1, hopefully 2. Yeah, unless Iconoclasm shows up, that would be unfortunate. And on points, Cruel is at 77, Henry Vale is at 100, Pink Ranger is 61, and that's before Wonders.